Good night, can I have one Johnson? I got this good and got this good all the time. My name is Herman Jefferson. I'm here to give you some news on tonight. Okay, excuse me. Okay, first we're gonna talk about let's restore Roe and Wade. Overturn Roe and Wade to restore the protection that was in place prior to court decision, and once again give every American um, federal protection, rights to access to abortion care. Because they banned abortion, and back then it was not banned. So update legislature Women Health Protection Act 2023. You know, so um, so the Women Health Protection Act, legislation is a safeguard, abortion rights, and for personal decision making for everyone who call American home after Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. You know, so um, so WHPA is a federal legislation, that create a new legal protection for the rights to provide and access abortion care free from unnecessary restriction, because they have unnecessary restriction on this abortion, you know, and they ban abortion all over. So without federal protection, for abortion rights, states have already, been denied millions of people access to abortion care. 20% of the country where abortion is now illegal. So Congress, let's update the Women Health Protection Act 2023. Let's update it. So I request that Roe and Wade be restored. I request abortion, be lifted, rights, to access abortion care. I request that WHPA be updated for 2023. So this abortion, let's restore Roe and first way. Let's restore this, for to update the Women Health Protection Act of 2023. The last time it was updated was 2021. You know, so so let's restore this here. So all women across the nation will have access to abortion. And I request, for the abortion to be lifted. I request for abortion to be lifted, rights, to access abortion care. And let's update WHPA 2023. That's the women Protection Health Act 2023. So let's update that, and let's uplift to abortion. The abortion been banned for a while. Be constantly fighting for this abortion, for all women across the nation. So that's the story to restore Roe and Wade. So okay, so let's talk about unbanned books. Take out books back. So I don't know what's going on here. So much stuff is going on. I'm trying to keep up. Unbanned books. Freedom to learn. We have freedom to learn. Because back in the day, they had to sneak and read because they didn't want him to read. It seemed like life trying to rewind itself. We not trying to have history rewind itself. We trying to move forward and stay forward. Now all of a sudden we fighting for all kind of stuff that our people back then had fight for us to have this access for. So history, it's a key to fighting, for a better future. Books bang limit our next generation, because you bang, books and you bang history books. What gonna happen to the generation behind us? They ain't gonna know nothing about the history if we bang all the black history books. So to limit our next generation from growing from our past is freedom to learn national day of action in our our away vote for representatives that who understand the importance of education. So a lot of people think history is not important. We cannot ban black history. We have to have that for the next generation. They gonna come up. They ain't gonna know nothing about did we have anybody and back in the slave. Had to get in the back of the. They ain't gonna know none of this stuff if it get banned and get pulled off shelves. You know, um. So books and black history, will remain. Books will remain in a library. They're trying to put all the books in the library and trying to tell the teenager what kind of books to read. So all across the nation, public library, all teens have the right, to read what they like to read. Discover themselves and from their own opinion. We can't tell these teenagers what book to read. They have their opinions to choose what books they want to read. To have the freedom to read statements. They're trying to remove books, tackling ways, range topics from the library shelf. So American Library Association, document demand a sense of library books and research. It's the highest number of attempt, books banned, since 20 years ago. Now, that was the last time they banned books. That was 20 years ago. 729 books challenges to be removed out the library. Across the country, teens continue to face raising attempt at books ban challenges, in their local schools and public library. So now, they're trying to say, you're trying to tell you what kind of books to read. So they're trying to pull books off the library shelf. And you have certain kind of books that you should be reading. So freedom to learn. We have the freedom to learn. Now we all have rights. We all have rights to read whatever books we chose to read. I request that all black history and all any kind of books, remain in the library, you know, for the next generation to follow. The next generation needs to know about the past, what happened in the past, about our generation. So unban I request to unban all books. Freedom to read and learn. You can't tell a teenager what kind of books to read. You can't tell a teenager what kind of books to read. I mean, I don't know what this generation is coming up with. I don't even know what's going on right now. We fighting for so much stuff that were already fought for. Way back then. This is like 20 years ago, and here we fighting for something that our people fought for already. We fighting for our history. We fighting for books they pulling off the shelf. We fighting for district. The clothes in school putting. I mean, we fighting for so much stuff that was fought for already. So that's the story on Unbanned Books. Lift any books that's supposed to be banned and removed from our library. I request that all books remain in the library, that our teenagers have the right to read whatever they chose to read. Okay, so we have another story. I had went to this one here today in person. I got turned away because I was 4 minutes late. So now it was the closing of Jefferson Parish schools. The consultant came up with an idea to save money to close the schools and put student outside their district. So I don't know how they're gonna save money doing that, but they want to save money by closing the school, moving the student to the outside district where it might take them 25 to 30 minutes to bring their children to school, and some of them don't have transportation to take them to school, and some of the parents have to go to work early in the morning. So how are they going to do that? They didn't figure out all the research, because they would need transportation to bring these students to outside their district. That may take 25 to 30 minutes to bring them to school. And then parents have to go to work. And then they have other children that in the nursery right next to the old school that they close up. So we fighting for district. So you got SPL. It's a sudden perverted law center. They double down on the request for a federal investigation. In Jefferson Parish school closure and outside district. A legal group, had renewed its call for a federal investigation into the Jefferson Parish School Board decision to close 7 campuses, as a district prepared to vote, was today, which I was there, but was not able to speak due to 4 minutes late. SPLC submitted, a second complaint, about the district consultation plan. This time, the student with disability are being discriminated against through the closure. Because they didn't include the student with disability. So what gonna happen to them? So SPLC submitted a complaint, to the United States Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, discrimination against students of color. The group claimed, the school Jefferson Parish is preparing to close. The group had the fear complaint. This group went out in the field. The schools that they closing, they went out in the field. Out in the field, they talked to the community members about the closure, which she called a hurried decision. They said they've been planning this since last year, but have they talked to the parents? Because it seemed like they're just not bringing this up to the parents, and now they got to hurry up and try to figure out how they're going to get their children to school. Now it seems like this a hurried rush. So family and the students who are impacted, who asked them to wait. The parents said they asked them to wait. And they still move forward. Like they're disregarding what the parents say, and the parents is the one have to bring the children to school. You're gonna have so many students gonna be dropping out due to the parents gonna have to go to work early in the morning, because some of the parents have to work early in the morning, and the student used to have to walk to school. But now since you're moving them out in the district, so what they gonna do? They can't walk 25, 30 minutes away to school by themselves. So y'all gonna have to come up with another you're gonna have to come up with another decision, because this is not working out for the parents that may not have transportation. And if they do have transportation, that's still I used to work 25 to 30 minutes away to work, and that's a good way to try to travel to get to work. So try to travel and bring your child to school. So now you have SPL. That's a sudden perverted law center. So they're gonna have a federal investigation. Because they're calling it discrimination, because they went out in the field that the schools that they closed is a black community of schools that is closed. That's the only schools that they said is closing. So now they bring it to federal investigation. Because this is a rush deal that the parents, you didn't consult the parents to see how they feel about this new map, this new plan, everything that y'all coming up with. So now, we got moving the student outside the district. Then you got, the banning books. The children have the certain kind of books they have to read. What is going on here? And then trying to restore, Roe and Ray for the abortion, have access to abortion. They had access to abortion. Like 20 years ago. It was stamp and seal. So now I'm trying to, all this stuff needs to be updated. Because we fighting for stuff that was already restored already. So now we trying to fight for something and restore right back, update this. So I don't know what's going on right now. We fighting left and right. For all kinds of stuff. So we talk about restoring Roe and Wade for overturn. To restore the protection that was in place 20 years ago. The decision once again give every American federal protection for rights to access abortion care. Update the legacy of the Women Health Protection Act 2023 for this year. So WHPA, is an abortion rights and a personal decision making for everyone who call American home after Superior Court, overturn Roe and Wade. They have to overturn Roe and Wade. We have to restore this here protection here. We have to restore this protection here. For the women to have access to abortion. Abortion not just killing babies. Abortion is for any complication or anything they have. I won't be agreeing for women just killing babies. This abortion is for when they have complications. You may have to have surgery. This abortion for if a baby is deceased in you already have to come out. This abortion for many reasons, not just killing babies. It's for complications that a woman may have that it may have to get sucked out. And a woman may get raped. A woman do not want to carry a rape baby. So abortion not only just to kill baby, it's for serious reason that a woman may have to have this surgery. Okay, now we talk about books. They're banning books, and then they're trying to pull books off the library shelf and have the teenagers read certain books. You can't tell teenagers and nobody to read certain books. But people can read whatever kind of books they want to read. We cannot rewind life back again. It's not going back into century. We can read whatever book we chose to read. And then we talk about Jefferson Parish School Board. They're talking about closing the school, removing the children that was in that school, and locating them outside of the school. They're going to take them 25 to 30 minutes to get to school, and then they don't have transportation and plan for this new map. You came up with this new map, but you don't have everything. You don't have all the research, to complete with this new plan. But these parents got to figure out how they're going to get to school. Y'all supposed to have that plan in place. Transportation. So that's all I have for you today. We's not going to rewind life back again. They're closing on the black community school and locating them outside the district. I request that all the schools that they was in already to remain in their district. And I request that the schools stay open. I request that the schools stay open. So I blocked the new map, I blocked the new plan. Because this is a rush thing. And this parent at the last minute. School start in a couple of more months? This is too much of a rush. These parents have to figure out, they got to find somebody who can bring their children to school and pick them up, because their plan was their kids used to walk to school and walk home if there was a certain age. Now they cannot do that. They got to find somebody or pay an Uber, and who gonna reimburse that money back? Y'all should have transportation in place for this new map, for this new plan. So I blocked this new map and I blocked this new plan. Because these parents cannot be figuring out how they're gonna bring their children. They're gonna take 25 minutes to try to bring them the children to school. So I blocked any um books that trying to be removed from off the library. I unban books and unlift all that. We have the freedom to learn. We have the freedom to read. So let's give our teenagers that freedom to read and learn. And I request that the history books remain in the library, because that's for our next generation, to learn about our history. Some of us still have to learn about our history. So we don't need it to be removed off the market. It needs to stay on market for us to read and learn, and for our next generation to come on to read and learn. So that's all the news I have for you tonight. Y'all have a blessed night, and I see y'all on the next video.